Hello there, I welcome you to this video, 5 Minutes with Caruso today. Whitney couldn't be with you today, so she asked me to step in, and so I am. Hope to share something that's going to bless you here. And I particularly want to speak to you if you ever felt like you weren't welcome in a church, or if you know somebody who wasn't welcomed in a church. I met a lady like that one time. She was the owner of a bar, and I had invited her to come worship with us, and we had this relationship that developed over the years. We're still friends today, and I love her. She loves me. Just a tremendous woman. But I remember it was a week before Christmas, and she wanted to come worship with us. And she asked me if she could come. She said she stated that she was afraid she would not be welcomed. Well, I assured her she definitely would be. And so she came with a friend, and they definitely were welcomed and loved on. And after that, she brought other friends from the bar. She brought her grandchildren, and it became a home for her. And it was just a wonderful scene to see this unfold and these relationships develop over the years. And like I said, we're still friends today. But she didn't feel like she was welcomed in the church because of her lifestyle. There was a woman that Jesus met who also was not made to feel welcome, or was made to not feel welcome. Her story is in John chapter 8. And the way the story unfolds, I'm just going to summarize this briefly. There's some religious leaders come and grab her in the middle of having sex with a man, and they're going to use her to test Jesus. They should have brought the guy also. I don't know why they did it. I have my guesses. But they're going to humiliate her. They want her dead. They throw her at the feet of Jesus and test Jesus. You know, the law says that we need to stone her and kill her. Now, Jesus has two options in their mind. If he says stone her and kill her, then there's a lot of people who are following Jesus who are going to stop following him because he's not that compassionate person he portrays himself to be. If Jesus says, no, give her a pass, don't stone her, then he's not this law-abiding believer that he claims to be either. And so either way, Jesus hangs himself. But Jesus doesn't go with those options, but he goes down a different road, and he looks at all those people and says, okay, let's stone her, but let's make sure that the person who throws the first stone has never sinned. Well, obviously that's not anybody. And people begin to realize, you know, they could be in that woman's sandals and people would be throwing rocks at them, so they all leave. And soon it's just Jesus and his disciples and this woman. Well, what does Jesus do with the woman? He basically says to her, listen, I'm setting you free, but go live your life now in a way that honors God. And I like to believe that she did. Now, in that group of disciples, there was a guy by the name of John who wrote that story for us to read, and he wrote this whole Gospel of John. And in chapter 1 of that Gospel, verse 14, he had this to say about Jesus. He said, Jesus, the Word, became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, or we have seen his honor, the glory and the honor of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. Jesus revealed God to everybody by how he conducted himself. He let people see the glory of God or the honor of God through him. And that how he treated that woman, how he responded to that woman, was an example of that. And it made an indelible impression upon John. I think it still makes an impression on us today. And you might be one of those people who has tried to walk in a church or wanted to walk in a church to worship God, but didn't because you felt like you wouldn't be welcomed. Or maybe you did, and you were made not to feel welcome. Well, I apologize. I'm really sorry that happened to you, but you need to understand this. You're welcomed in the kingdom of God, and that church has got it wrong. You're welcome. It doesn't matter what marks your life, how you've messed up, how you've been messed over, whatever you got hanging over you. It doesn't matter. Life in the kingdom is lived out by people who are not perfect. But it's lived out by people who have been rejected by so many other people, who aren't welcome in so many places, but they're all welcome in the kingdom of God. Now, when we come into that, Jesus calls us to live a life that honors God, not to settle for the life that that we live in right now, that the world gives us permission to live and accepts or embraces or even empowers. We're called for a higher life. We have a higher calling to live a life that honors God. And every single one of us can do it, no matter how we've messed up or how we've been messed over. We can live this life and be most welcomed in the kingdom of God. And I want you to know that today. You are blessed. Accept that blessing. You can send me an email if you want to, if you want to have a conversation about this. booksbycaruso@gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment if you want to. But take this to heart. And I encourage you to share it with somebody that you know who doesn't feel welcome. Thank you.